Good morning, students. So let us take one more problem on liquidation today. So this is the problem. It is given as balance sheet of X Limited as on 31st 3 2020. The balance sheet is like this: 5,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, rupees 75 paid up, amounting to 3,75,000. Secured loan on land and buildings 1,50,000. Unsecured creditors 5,25,000. Within brackets, it is given that preferential creditors are also included in this unsecured creditors amounting to 20,000 rupees. And then the asset side, we have land and buildings 1 lakh rupees, plant and machinery 1,70,000, tools and equipments 1,95,000, stock 62,000, bills receivables 40,000, advances 25,000, cash at bank 8,000, P&L account 4,50,000, and the total of the balance sheet is 10,50,000. Now the adjustments are given like this: the company went into liquidation as on the above date, and the following information is available. The first one is land and buildings were realized by the secured creditors at rupees 1,80,000. See, in this case, it is given that it is realized by the secured creditors only. So secured creditors themselves, they will have the documents with them. So therefore, they have realized the land and buildings on their own. The amount borrowed from the secured creditors is 1,50,000, but it is sold at 1,80,000. That is for a higher amount. And the second adjustment is other assets realized by the liquidator were as below. So except land and buildings, all other assets are realized by the liquidator himself. So it is given as tools and equipments 20,000, plant and machinery 30,000, stock 20,000, bills receivables 25,000, advances 5,000. And the liquidator is entitled to a fixed remuneration of rupees 3,000. So this is the fixed remuneration, and apart from that we have commission based on a percentage also, that is, and 3% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. Liquidation expenses came to rupees 10,000. Balance of calls were made on equity shares. So balance of calls. So when you look at the given equity shares here, it is 5,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, rupees 75 paid up. So the balance of 25 rupees per share here, that is 100 minus 75. So 25 rupees is balance to be called, and this balance of 25 rupees per share on 5,000 shares is to be called as given in the information here. So this is what is given. Okay, this is a balance sheet based problem. Okay, let's go to the solution here. Okay, so now this is the liquidator's final statement of account. So wherein on the left hand side we have receipts, on the right hand side we have payments here. Cash in hand, the first entry to be made is cash in hand. When you look at the given balance sheet here, we don't have cash in hand here, but we have cash at bank. So we'll take rupees 8,000 as cash at bank here. Cash at bank 8,000, and then apart from that we have assets realized here. So under the assets realized, the first asset realized is land and buildings, which were realized by the secured creditors themselves. So what we have to enter here is the assets realized by the liquidator, not by the creditors. So therefore, whenever the assets are realized by the creditors for a higher amount than the amount of security given, in that case the surplus is to be shown as a surplus here. So therefore, the sale of land and buildings by the secured creditors will not appear here. So I have to go to the other assets here. So as given in the information here, other assets realized by the liquidator were as below: tools and equipments 20,000. So look at the tools and equipments is 1,95,000. Don't bother about the balance sheet values here. So these are the market values for which the assets are realized. Okay, let us take it one by one. So under the assets realized, the first one is the tools and equipments as it is given. Tools and equipments rupees 20,000. I am taking it in the inner column. And then we have plant and machinery, which is realized at rupees 30,000. And then we have stock realized at rupees 20,000. And then we have bills receivables 25,000, and then we have advances rupees 5,000. So these are the assets here. And then when you look at the given balance sheet, we have P&L account debit balance. So this is to be ignored, as we already know that this is a miscellaneous expenditure, so it does not carry any value or meaning in the event of liquidation. So now let us now look at the total amount realized by the liquidator here, B liquidator. So this is 50 plus 45 plus 5. So this exactly comes to rupees 1 lakh. Total amount of 1 lakh rupees is realized by the liquidator here. And then let us look at the other receipts here. Say, apart from the assets realized, as we already seen here, the liquidator has sold the land and buildings himself, and he has sold the land and buildings at the rate at rupees 1,80,000, whereas his outstanding loan is only 1,50,000. So he has sold the land and buildings at a higher value. Now he has to deduct whatever is due to him, that is 1,50,000, and the remaining is to be handed over to the liquidator. But liquidator will recover it, or he will collect it from the secured creditors. So therefore it is termed as surplus received. So I'll enter it as surplus from secured creditors. Surplus from secured creditors. So I will just show the calculation like this. 1,80,000 is the outstanding amount. 1,80,000 is the outstanding amount to the 1,80,000 is the sale value, and 1,50,000 is the outstanding amount. So minus 1,50,000. So the surplus on the sale of land and buildings by the creditors is 30,000. This surplus is realized by the liquidator, or it is recovered from the creditors by the liquidator. So that is 30,000. So now we have considered this entry also, this adjustment also. Now coming to the other receipts here, liquidation expense, and then the last one is balance of calls were made on equity shares. So the balance of calls is 25 rupees on these 5,000 shares. So let us take it as calls on equity shares. Calls on equity shares, that is on 5,000 equity shares at the rate of 25 rupees per share. So 5,000 into 25 comes to 1,25,000. This is the total amount realized from the calls. So now these are the fifth entry is also considered here. So these are the receipts to the liquidator. Now coming to the payment side. See, under the payment side, the first entry is secured creditors. So secured creditors. So though we have the secured creditors here, secured creditors, since they have realized the given asset for themselves, so they'll keep whatever is due to them, and there is no need for the liquidator to pay to them. So therefore we don't show any amount here because it's already paid by themselves here. And the second entry is liquidation expenses. Liquidation expenses, it is given here. Liquidation expenses is under the fourth adjustment. We have 10,000 rupees here. So show the liquidation expenditure as 10,000. And then we have liquidators remuneration. Liquidators remuneration is the third entry, or the order of payment. So under which we have two different amounts to be paid to them. That is, as it is given, the liquidator is entitled to a fixed remuneration of rupees 3,000. So this is fixed. That means not based on any percentage. It is an amount which is already determined by the company and the liquidator. So therefore let us show it as fixed remuneration. Fixed remuneration rupees 1,000. Sorry, this is fixed remuneration rupees 3,000. Rupees 3,000. Okay, and then 3% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. And still we don't know how much is exactly paid to the unsecured creditors. So this we'll write it as 3% on the amount paid to the unsecured creditors, paid to the unsecured creditors. That we don't know, we'll just write it as rupees, we'll put it as a dash here. Now the next entry is debentures, debenture capital. So look at the balance sheet here, we don't have debentures, we have only 3 items here, so no debentures are given. So therefore outstanding debenture interest is not there. And then we have to take the preferential creditors, preferential creditors. Now looking at the balance sheet, so the total unsecured creditors is given as 5,25,000, out of which preferential creditors amounted to rupees 20,000. So that means this 20,000 includes, or it is included in this 5,25,000. Now let us look at the given adjustment here. So the adjustment says that 3% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors